you show me how you'd open the bonnet and tell me how you check the engine has sufficient oil? To open the bonnet on a Nissan Micra, it's at the driver's side, bonnet catch. Pull it towards you and you'll hear the bonnet pop. Once you've popped the bonnet open, come to the front of the car. There's a little hook that you gotta lift up. The stick is up here and it goes into a little hole on the side and the hood will stay open. Pull the dipstick out, wipe it clean with a cloth and then put it back in. Take it out again and check that the level is in between the minimum and the maximum markings. If you do need to top up with oil, it goes in there. Can you open the bonnet and tell me how the engine has sufficient coolant? This is your engine coolant and you check the level by checking the liquids in between the minimum and maximum markings. Can you open the bonnet and tell me how you check that you have a safe level of hydraulic brake fluid? This is brake fluid and you check the level by making sure the liquid is in between the minimum and maximum markings. Tell me how you check the brakes are working before you start a journey. I'm going to press the brake pedal to see how it feels. It shouldn't feel too loose, slack or spongy. And when I drive off, if my vehicle is pulling to one side, that may indicate a problem with the brakes. Can you tell me where you would find the information for the recommended tyre pressures of this car and how your tyre pressures can be checked? I'm going to check the manual of this car to see what the tyre pressures should be, and then I'm going to take it to a petrol station and use their air pump to check each tyre individually, make sure the pressure is what it should be. If the car has a spare tyre, I'm going to check that as well, and ideally I'm going to check them when the tyres are cold. Can you tell me how you would make sure your head restraint is correctly adjusted so it does provide the best protection in the event of a crash? I'm gonna press my head against the headrest to see how it feels, and I can adjust it using these things here. You just sort of push the button in and it will lift up, and you just want to adjust it so you feel like it supports your head. The top of your ear should roughly be in the middle of the headrest. Can you tell me how you would check the tyres to ensure they have sufficient tread depth and that their general condition is safe to use on the road? I will check each tyre individually by going outside and looking at it. I need to make sure that the tyres don't have any cuts or tears, any lumps, bumps, bulges in them. And I need to check the tread depth. It's not allowed to be any less than 1.6 millimeters. Can you tell me how you would check that the headlights and taillights are working? You don't need to exit the vehicle. I'm going to turn my headlights on. I would then get out of the car and check they're working at the front and that the rear ones or the tail ones are working at the back. Can you tell me how you would check that there was a problem with your anti-lock braking system? A warning light would appear on the dashboard. If there's a problem, it doesn't go out, it just stays on all the time. Can you tell me how you would check the direction indicators are working? You don't need to exit the vehicle. Easiest thing to do is press this button, which is known as the hazard warning lights. It puts both the left and the right indicators on at the same time. I can then get out of the car and check each indicator bulb to make sure it's working okay. Can you tell me how you check that the brake lights were working on this car? Make sure that the electrics are on and then press the brake pedal. Get someone to stand behind and tell you if they're working or not. If you haven't got anybody, then reverse your vehicle up to something that is reflective, like a window, And then when you press the brake pedal, you should be able to see the reflections of your brake lights in the mirrors. Can you tell me how you'd check the power assisted steering is working before you start a journey? I'm gonna move the wheel. It's very stiff when the engine is turned off. When I turn the engine on, it should become a lot lighter, and that's how I know it's working. Can you tell me how you'd switch on the rear fog light? And also explain to me when you might use it. You don't need to exit the vehicle. There's a function on the stick here. You can just twist and the rear fog light will come on. You can twist to turn it off. It's important to note that you should only use your rear fog lights if visibility is less than 100 meters. Can you tell me how you'd switch your headlight from a dipped beam to a main beam? And how would you know this is on when you're here inside the car? To turn the headlights on, we just twist at the end of the stalk here, and then for main beam, you push the stick away from you. A blue light appears on the dashboard to tell me the main beam is on. To turn it off, pull the stick towards myself, turn the headlights off. When it's safe to do so, show me how you would wash the front windscreen. When you're happy to do so, can you show me how you would wash the rear windscreen? When you're happy to do so, show me how you'd use the horn. Not too loud, we don't want to scare anybody. When you're ready, show me how you'd open and close a side window. Not too much, just had my hair done, don't want it blowing everywhere. It's getting a bit misty. When you're happy to do so, show me how you would demist the front window. When you're happy to do so, show me how you would demist the rear window. When you're happy to do so, show me how you'd turn on your headlights.